Commissions? Specifically one with a huge more attack, perhaps? Paimon's just being enthusiastic. We're old friends now, she gets it.
It's always a pleasure to see our two most avid adventurers again. Looking for the next challenge, I see. Actually, we do in fact have a rather urgent commission that is still open. Having read the details, however, I don't believe you'd consider it to be lucrative.
Don't worry about that. We were just kidding. So what's the situation?
To put it simply, the requester is looking for a temporary replacement actress for their musical. The original cast member ran into some issues and is currently unable to perform the role. But the troupe has also been experiencing some financial difficulties, so unfortunately they cannot afford to pay the replacement actress.
That does sound like a tricky situation. So basically they're looking for a volunteer?
That's right. Our adventurers reached out to many actresses, but none of them were willing to take the job. There are only a few days left until the performance. If they can't find someone in time, they'll probably have to postpone the show. And delays tend to create all sorts of new problems.
Got it. Oh, this one's a doozy. What do you think, Traveler? Any ideas? Even if we took the commission, neither of us have any experience starring in musicals.
If you're interested in helping, why not start by having a chat with the requester? He's right over there. Maybe you can't fill the role yourselves, but you might be able to help him figure out another solution. Maybe there's something he hasn't thought of.
Oh, it's that guy, huh? No wonder, he looks like he just ate us. Paimon approves, let's go! Hello there, are you the guy looking for a new actress?
Wait, I know you two! Are you really willing to act in my musical?
Wow, sounds like we're pretty famous in Fontaine already. But to answer your question, neither of us have any experience in musicals. But we heard that you're in a bit of a bind.
Ah, I see. It's okay. I knew that asking for a volunteer was a long shot. If we can't find someone to step in, we'll have no choice but to cancel the show. It would be such a shame. That's the thing. We're not some high-profile theater troupe, just a group of amateur enthusiasts. All our sets and props are very crude. We're grateful enough just to get an audience, never mind ticket fees. If we had a way to make this profitable, things might have turned out differently. But now, it looks inevitable that we'll disband.
Disband? You're splitting up the troupe?
Oh, I guess the lady at the Adventurers Guild didn't tell you? Yeah, this is supposed to be our final show together, and after that, we go our separate ways. So we were really hoping to end on a high note. Nobody wants things to just fizzle out. Not after all the time and effort we've invested into it. Yeah, the leading lady, in fact. She's been dealing with a chronic illness ever since childhood, and unfortunately, it flared up again recently. It really drains all her energy, so she's in no state to perform. The show just won't be the same without her. But for everyone else's sake, I still hope we can find a way to hold the performance on schedule.
Got it. We have a clearer picture now. Let's see if we can come up with any ideas. What if we sponsored the show? Traveler, how much more are you carrying?
Please, there's no need to go that far. I wouldn't feel right asking such a huge favor, and I can't promise that we'd ever be able to pay you back.
Good point. If the actress just goes through the motions for the Mora, that's not exactly rescuing the show. We should find someone who will put on the best performance possible. Oh, wait! What about...
हेलो भाई, क्या हाल चाल है?
know who?
हाय जाकिर भाई, व्हाट्सअप?
That's how you know we're the best of partners. Anyway, she should have all the free time in the world right now. She's really good at performing, and she was once super popular with the crowd. Performing in a musical should be a piece of cake for her.
Who are you thinking of? Sounds like someone famous. Her? You're... That was a joke, right?
हाँ,
Nope.
कैसे हो?
Paimon doesn't actually
भाई
know
मैं
if
बढ़िया
she's
हूँ भाई, तुम
performed
बताओ
on stage
क्या हाल चाल है
before, but
तुम्हारा?
Paimon's pretty confident that she'd be really good at it.
You're not wrong there. She has actually performed in a number of big names, but even if she's no longer the Hydro Archon,
बढ़िया
she's
भाई,
still an idol to many
आज
people
हम
in
कर रहे हैं
Fontaine,
फाउंटेन की
including
सारी
myself.
क्वेस्ट.
Well,
मैं देख रहा था,
yes,
मेरे को
but-
बहुत सारी क्वेस्ट बची हुई थी, तो हम शुरुआत से कर रहे हैं सब कुछ जो
Fair
हमारा
enough.
छूटा हुआ था.
I mean, if she was actually willing to, then of course I'd be honored to have Lady Farina star in our show. I'm sure the rest of the troupe would be delighted too. I'm sure everyone in our troupe has probably dreamt of performing on stage with her one day. Of course, it all depends.
No point in stressing about that. We'll only know if we ask her. And besides, things are different now. There's no reason for her to be all high and mighty anymore.
Thank you for your help. I guess I'll just stay here and wait for the good news. Good luck.
Wait, where does Farina actually live nowadays? She used to live in luxury at the Palais Mermonia, but she's, moved out, right?
As it happens, I have her current address here. I can provide it to you.
लाओ दे दे बस फिर.
Wait,
चलते हैं उसके बाद.
It is my duty to support commissioners and...
Thank you, ma'am.
well, now that we've got the...
तो मैं क्या बता रहा था? ये चीज, एक सेकंड. जैसे कि ये देखो भाई, मेरे पास इतनी सारी स्टोरी क्वेस्ट बची हुई थी, तो आज मैंने डिसाइड करा कि सारी की सारी निपटा लेंगे एक एक करके. उसके बाद ये भी बची हुई हैं, हैंग आउट इवेंट्स, और फिर ये तो है ही. तो धीरे धीरे करके सब कुछ निपटा लेंगे आज. Yesterday.
1 client, 2 clients, 3 clients.
Did Catherine really give us the right address? She lives here? Not that there's anything wrong with this place, it's just, a bit of a step down from the Palais Mermonia.
You know, it's common courtesy to make sure the homeowner isn't in earshot when you're done.
Okay, when did Poppy Gun and Thin Air become all the rage? First Catherine and now you?
I was just out on a shopping trip. I ran out of macaroni, so I went to grab a few more bags. I used to have a much wider range of choices when it came to food, but not at all. As long...
Oh, sounds like you're really struggling to cope.
How rude! Questioning... It's not like... Besides, I'm sure I could master dishes like la lettre focilor or blubber profiteroles in no time, if I felt so inclined.
Ah, there it is. You don't know how to cook.
Not yet, maybe, but... Anyway, what
खाना
are
बनाना
you
नहीं आता
even
भाई.
doing here?
Let's make two
I
of
do
us.
hope you... Let me first be clear that I'm not taking guests at this time. So if you're just here to clown around, then please be on your way. Shoot!
Sorry, we're sorry. Please don't be mad. Yeah, exactly what the traveler said. Paimon wasn't trying to make fun of you. Hang on a sec, you weren't exactly holding back either.
My help? Well, maybe you're forgetting that I'm no longer the mighty Hydro Archon.
Don't worry, it's nothing that serious. It's just very specific, and you're the one.
Oh? Well, if that's the case, then fine. I'll spare you the lecture about your attitude just now. So tell me, what specifically makes this matter so specific? I see. I knew you couldn't have come all this way just to amuse yourselves at my expense. After all, I was once the brightest star in all of Fontaine, well versed in all the various performing arts. A mere musical is well within my capabilities.
इतना याद करती है भाई ये.
But
बोलती रहेगी, बोलती रहेगी,
given
बोलती रहेगी,
the
बोलती रहेगी.
present circumstances, I'm afraid I must regretfully decline your casting request.
Why?
How come? It sounds like this would be a breeze for you.
True, but I have made a decision to retire from the stage. Although I am no longer required to play the role of the Hydro Archon, the time I spent inhabiting that character has left an indelible mark on me. Centuries of pretending to be a different person changes you completely.
सही बात.
I'm not the same person I once was. Of course, that can't be undone now. It's too late, and I have no intention of reinventing myself all over again. But at least I can say that I no longer desire to play any new roles.
Paimon can understand, but this is just a one-off part to fill in for someone who's sick. Surely that's okay.
Whether it's a one-off or not, it's a boundary that I've committed to no longer cross. If I make an exception to the rule now, I'm just leaving a back door for myself, which would be the same as not having a boundary in the first place. So I'm not going to perform, and that is that.
Okay, guess there's no convincing you. Well, is there anything else we can do to help out the troupe? Otherwise, do you know any other actors who might be interested in the role?
Nope.
No.
Short and to the point. Okay.
I've never been great
Okay.
at maintaining relationships. Besides, anyone I've ever worked with probably couldn't wait to get rid of me. Since I'm just an ordinary person now, they'll probably just laugh in my face if I go asking them.
इतनी मतलब
True,
ईमो
but
बीच है भाई ये.
I mean, could you even blame them? I show up out of the blue, begging and groveling for their help with a show they won't even get paid for? Ooh, no way. I'm dying from embarrassment just thinking about it. Nope, not happening.
Well, is there anything else we can do?
Have I not made myself clear? You're barking up the wrong tree. I don't want... Sorry. I didn't mean for that to...
It's all right, Farina. Paimon just wanted to make sure we tried everything. Oh,
Everything.
everyone in the troop. Yeah, I guess that's all we can do now. All right, then. We'll see you around, Farina.
Toodaloo to you, too. I'm going home.
चल. भाई अब इसने रिजेक्ट कर दिया तो अब क्या करेंगे? देखते हैं. मेरे को भी नहीं पता. Go back and pass toward about Rina's view. कहाँ पे जाना है? ओके. भाई मैं कीबोर्ड प्लग आउट कर दिया था, मेरे को पता भी नहीं लगा.
decision. Maybe the thought of performing brings up too many painful memories. Huh? What's going on? Are they arguing?
That's besides the point. I'll ask you again. Why did you start looking for a replacement without my consent? When did I tell you I'm going to—
You didn't need to say it.
And that gives you the right to make a decision on my behalf?
Shortly after you left, the troupe's lead actress came to the Adventurers Guild. Excuse me, but can you both take—
Sorry, I was just dealing with a little misunderstanding.
Sadly, it's a no from her. We tried to
I see. Well, circumstances have changed a little, so maybe that's not such bad news after all. You see, our leading lady has just informed me that she's well enough to make it to the show after all. Staging the musical with the full original cast was always the dream, of course.
Oh, right! Sounds like everything worked itself out then. Yeah, she'd be livid. We'd get the scolding of a lifetime.
Jeez, is Lady Farina really so harsh with people?
Only joking, calm down. So, guess we can consider this case closed now, huh? Despite the fact that we failed to complete the commission, we were still racking our brains for ideas on the way back here.
Look, there's no point arguing with you about this anymore. You've made yourself very clear, so I'll stop looking for a replacement. This is the last chance we have, though. If your illness flares up again, there won't be time to find anyone to replace you. So, are you absolutely sure you'll be able to handle it? The whole team is putting everything they have into this final performance. We have to make sure it goes ahead.
Yes, I'm completely confident. I've been taking a new medication from the doctor, and it's worked. I share everyone's desire. Every one of us thinks of this troupe as their home.
You're right. I'm sorry. I let my...
All's well that ends well. Sounds like the show will go on.
Nice.
Sure.
Hey, how did you... I was just passing by because I realized I forgot a
Salute
couple of
cinema.
items on my shopping list. All right, I'm coming. No need to drag me.
Hello, Farina? Didn't you...
I was just ever so slightly concerned. When you came to talk with me earlier, I jumped right to explaining my and all before I even had a full grasp of the situation. Anyway, I just feel a bit bad about how it went down. I'm sorry, Paimon.
Oh, it's totally fine. Paimon didn't take any of that personally.
You really have a knack for asking the most uncomfortable questions, don't you? I felt
Yes.
very sheepish, having had a change of heart after flatly refusing you. And then, to make matters worse, you caught me. But in any case, it sounds like the issue has already been resolved.
Yeah. What...
There's no need to think like that, and no need to keep addressing me as lady. Just Farina is fine. I was wondering, if this troupe is so important to all of you, why does it have to disband? If the difficulties are purely financial, then there must be a solution. You could put the shows on pause while you look for a sponsor, for instance. Everyone seems so devoted to the troupe. I'm sure if you keep chipping away, you'll find a way through.
We all want to believe that, but some things are just beyond our control. Everything's been going downhill ever since we lost our director. She was the heart and soul of our troupe. She kept us going.
Her name was Auranie, and she was the founder as well as the artistic director of our troupe. And tragically, she was a victim in the serial disappearances case.
What?
That's actually how I recognize these two. It was all thanks to their efforts that the true culprit was brought to justice. But still,
She was a loyal fan of your performances, lady. She rallied many people, loved our performances.
And then
But it's a
yeah,
crap fight.
none of us know anything about script writing. It's agonizing. But ultimately, we'd rather end things now on our own terms than stick it out to the bitter end and watch all our dreams turn to dust.
Oh.
What? I suppose it's fair to say then that this final show, besides being your farewell to the stage, is also your final gift for her?
Yes, exactly. We all miss her terribly.
Well, good thing I followed the traveler here. After hearing this tragic tale,
Farina.
I know what you're thinking, but I by no means plan to cross the boundary I've set for myself. Besides, they're no longer looking for a replacement anyway. I can, however, provide some artistic guidance from the vantage point of a highly experienced audience member. But only if you feel this is something that would help, of course.
Oh, most definitely. We'll take any guidance that you can.
We unfortunately don't have any budget for a consultant, though. Will that be a problem?
I don't need any compensation. All I'd ask in return, if you're willing, is that you tell me some more about the life and work of your late director. Something I've begun to realize since my departure from the Opera Epiclese is that there's a lot you don't see when you observe everything from on high. The law only judges criminal behavior and does not weigh human emotion. The court's verdict can settle the question of criminal liability, but what about all the unresolved emotions of the parties involved? What happens to them? An interesting answer. But if you ask me, I think all emotion shall ultimately return home
I'm
to
back.
the heart and slowly settle with the passage of time. Take, par exemple, how this troupe pines for their late director. Things such as this I have never witnessed before, and so I should like to observe, perchance to understand.
Still a fan of your old dramatic monologues then, huh? You just want to get back in on the action, don't you?
No. This is a completely different situation. Pearls before swine.
The name's not Swine, it's Paimon!
Would you be willing to join me? Come on, take a break from adventuring to listen to a story.
Thank you all so much. Our director was a huge fan of Miss Farina's performances, as of course we all are. Alright, follow me. We'll go to our usual practice space. Please
Okay.
excuse the size. It's a little on the smaller side.
Go to the rehearsal location. रिहर्सल लोकेशन यहाँ पे है ना, तो यहाँ पे चलते हैं। यहाँ पे डिलीट मार के वहाँ से निकलते हैं। बीजीएमआई भी खेला करो सर। हाँ भाई, खेलेंगे खेलेंगे खेलेंगे। अरे इसमें स्टोरी होती है ना, तो इजीली चलता है। हम्म, फिलहाल स्टोरी वाली स्टोरी गेम्स खेलने में मजा आता है भाई। मतलब वो तो मैं खेल ही नहीं रहा। बीजीएमआई तो बाद में खेलेंगे कभी रात को ना बैठ के। चल या फिर इसके बाद मैं बीजीएमआई खेलता हूँ, मैं तेरे को इनवाइट बुलाऊंगा। चल मिशन भी रहता है मेरा आरपी के।
Lady Farina?
What's Lady Farina doing here?
Hello, all. Allow me to explain.
सैटरडे संडे रात को डेली
As of
खेलते हैं 12 के
today,
बाद। हाँ चल
Lady
करते हैं।
Miss
तो मैं फ्री हूँ, मेरा एग्जाम भी
Farina
होगा।
will be supporting our production of the Little Oceanid in the role of artistic consultant. These two over here are the ones that made it possible. They kindly reached out to Miss Farina on our behalf. I'm sure they need no introduction. You bet! That was the trial of the century!
You helped bring our director's murderer to justice. We can't thank you enough.
Oh, please don't mention it. We're just here to join in on the fun.
So, you were saying the little.
Yeah, that's the name of our final show. It's an unfinished script left behind by our director. One of our greatest regrets is that she never got to complete it. So, if we can bring it to the stage and make it a success.
Wait, but if it's not finished, then...
Yeah, we've been battling issues on every front trying to realize this dream. Anyway, let me give you a quick summary of what the story's all about. The protagonist of the story is a young Oceanid who transforms herself into human form, despite the protests of her family. She longed to live just like any, but one day, her true identity was exposed, and her world came crashing down around her.
So far, so good. A classic.
That's one of the issues we've been trying to deal with. Unfortunately, this was as far as the director got with her script. We need a proper ending so we can bring this musical to the stage. But people have different opinions on which direction to take it in.
We still haven't decided between a happy ending or a true-to-life tragedy.
By true to life, you mean the director's.
Yeah, but then there's the question of whether we really want to use the stage to pass our raw pain onto the audience.
Exactly. A lot of the time, people come to watch a show just hoping for some light entertainment. We have to consider their emotional stake in this, not just our own. And one last thing. We're still waiting on confirmation from two of our main actors. The first is Paulo, who plays the protagonist's lover. He's locked himself away to focus on writing an ending for the script. But the deadline's passed, and we still haven't heard from him. The other is Villemont, who plays the main antagonist. He took the director's death pretty hard. He did write to us, promising that he'll be there for the final performance, but we haven't seen or heard from him since. So we're not really sure what to make of that.
Huh. Although, now that we have Miss Farina helping us, maybe we should take the opportunity to get everyone back together.
What opportunity? What do you mean?
Maybe you're unaware, but your name has always been like a rallying cry for us.
Our director was constantly singing your praises. All of us look up to you as a role model.
Oh, stop. I suspect the reason they're dragging their feet, but one by one.
Makes sense. Okay, priority, he went back to Poisson.
I thought the last thing is...
Yeah, maybe he could...
Poisson. Nothing. I suppose my presence will be indispensable if we are to restore his faith in the show. So, allons-y.
कहाँ जाना है?
If I remember correctly, this is where he's staying.
Who is it?
It's me.
You came all the way here.
Alright.
Nice try.
Okay then.
So, as expected, he's
The ending is even once he's.
Someone told me they'd just seen you in Poisson. I assumed it was a case of mistaken identity, but sure enough, here you are. And Farina, too.
I was wondering if we might run into her.
So, you're here for Paolo? Looks like he could be a while, so feel free to take a stroll around town in the meantime. I've made all-
Oh, it's okay. We can just wait here.
Thank you for being so considerate, Miss Navia. That sounds wonderful. We'll take that Get over here, you! How
How are things in Poisson now? Any better?
Things are on the mend, but it's a slow process. Some people may never recover from the trauma they experienced.
I'm sorry to hear that. I wish there was something I could do.
Please, must our conversations... We all have painful memories, but we don't have to let them cloud everything we do. And if you're trying to make a new start, perhaps it's best if you don't bring up the past all the time.
Thank you for your words of comfort. You make a very good point. But for now, at least, I think I should stay with the way I'm feeling for a while longer.
It's okay. These things take time. Moving on from a painful experience is easier said than done. Which brings me to why I'm here. I thought you should probably know that not everyone here is ready to forgive and forget after the Hydro Archon's inaction in the face of catastrophe. To avoid upsetting the peace, I told the townspeople that everyone here is a member of the theater troupe, and that you are just an actress playing the role of Farina. It's not a perfect solution, but hopefully it means you won't have to lie low while you're here.
That's so thoughtful of you, Navia.
Well, what do you expect? I am the courageous and considerate president of Spina di Rosula, after all. Anyway, that was all. Look after her now.
Off we go then. Let's take a look up there. I don't have any friends that I can be frank and honest with, so maybe she's right. You're the closest thing to friends that I have. I'm so grateful that Miss Navia was so understanding. To be perfectly honest, I didn't know if I was ready to meet her. It's always easiest to just run away from your problems. But that never fixes anything. You can't get...
So that's why you were nervous when they brought up Poisson.
Yeah. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't scared of coming back here. Still, I felt it was something I had to do. As I was saying before, I want to see for myself the things that I never could in the past. I'd be overjoyed if the people here could find it in their hearts to forgive me. Yeah, I can tell people are watching me. I'm sure some people here see the idea of someone coming to Poisson dressed as the Hydra Archon as extremely disrespectful. I used to be terrified of the gaze of other people, especially when they had suspicion or resentment in their eyes. I guess I wasn't quite ready for this after all.
I'm not surprised you're making yourself go through all of this.
What do you mean by that? You expected me to just keep running and hiding from my responsibility forever?
Look, there seems to be a crowd gathering over there.
Probably time we made a move. How about we check out Spina di Rosula's ship? We should have a view of the whole of Poisson from there. I'm sorry. You probably just wanted a relaxing stroll. And here I am.
We don't mind. It's actually refreshing to see a different side of you.
Great. Well, I appreciate your company, so please don't disappear just yet. I don't know whether you can tell, but the years of suffering and loneliness aren't the only reason I have a hard time facing up to who I used to be. As I stand here by the ship, I can't get the images of the rising water out of my mind. One after another, people were taken by the water. All those treasured lives and memories washed out of existence in an instant. They thought their god would protect them. They had absolute faith that when disaster struck, a divine power would end all the while. But then the floodwaters finally came.
You shouldn't look at it like that. You're only doing your duty.
I've had to go. Eventually, fortunately, we were able, everyone, but on some level, freedom.
I would have never imagined.
A reward? I guess so. And back then, I was scared of believe in the Farine. I had to keep all my That's what I really meant when I said I'm no good at maintaining relationships.
So that's where you were.
Could you please get off my case? I don't know what's gotten... At least the... All right, it's about time to head back. Paulo should have finished the ending by now.
Sure. Okay, let's head back and check it out.
चलो 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 चलो
Didn't you say you needed to watch what you eat? You're supposed to be cutting down on fried foods, not...
Come on. It's not every day we get to dine at Spina di Rosula's expense. Can you believe how generous she is? Anyway, my character...
Are you kidding me right? I've spent my whole life battling the effects of ill health, and it kills...
Oh no, looks like the... We're back! Could you maybe put your
You're back. We've been enjoying Spina di Ros... Paulo's nearly done. We shouldn't have to wait too much longer.
Great! So you were just...
Me?
He was originally supposed to take the form of a crane, but he... outgrew that role. Well, the costume at least. So now he's playing the boar instead.
The boar's not a bad character, actually. He's the one who raises the little Oceanid, yes?
That's right. He has some pretty memorable lines, too. Like when he imparts some If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one.
Wait, that's how sounds kind of...
It's the most important line in the whole script. She kept quiet. It was only after she was...
You mentioned earlier about the...
Yeah. I spent some years taking whatever work I could find and trying to make... It was like that. She took me under her wing, taught me to both sing...
She sounds like a real...
She really was. She gave everything. I was a lost child. The other kids were always picking fights with me. They'd say things like, "Come on, you must be pretty tough if you're the son of a murderer." It was just to taunt me, though. I was an easy target, and they knew it. One day, I got beaten.
Let me guess.
Yeah. For the first time in my life, I was somewhere I felt safe. And I promised myself I'd stay here until the day the group parted ways.
The day you hoped would never come. How times change.
Oh, you're finally done? Get your butt over here.
Farina? The Farina? Oh my god, how did you manage to wrangle that?
Please, the honor is all mine. I was...
Same here!
Even so, this is just... Oh, wow. I'm sorry. I'll try to calm down. Now, where was I? Ah, yes, the script, of course. Let me give you a rundown of how the story unfolds in my version of the script. I'm sure you're already familiar with the beginning of the story. A little Oceanid decides she wants to become a human against the wishes of her family. She finds love and friendship in the bustling city. But then, disaster strikes. The people start to notice that all the fresh water in the surrounding area is slowly disappearing. The soil is becoming arid, plants and flowers, and the people begin to panic. The little Oceanid, Cleo, and her lover decide to do something about it and investigate the truth of the matter together. In the end, they discover that all the waste and pollution created by humans over the years has caused the fresh water to flee the land, as if driven by a consciousness of its own.
Consciousness? You mean the water is sentient?
Water as a conscious entity. There's actually quite a few stories that explore this theme.
Since the little Oceanid is a water spirit, she immediately understands how the water is feeling. She then tells her lover about her true identity, as well as the truth behind the crisis. Her lover accepts her for who she is, and works with her to find a way to bring the water back. However, unbeknownst to them, there were some people eavesdropping when she revealed her secret. The little Oceanid is accused of being directly responsible for driving the water away.
भाई इसके बाद
Faces
करते
the
हैं
greatest dilemma of her
और
life.
ना
And then?
In the end, she makes the brave decision to sacrifice herself to save her lover and the rest of humanity.
Huh? But didn't they all treat Cleo like a villain? Why would she want to save them after that?
Well, she mainly wanted to save her lover, plus everyone who'd stood up for her.
Through her love for her human partner, she was a...
There's actually something else that bothers me. You know the protagonist is supposed to represent the director, right? And she never had the chance to become a hero in our world. If we're serious about dedicating this show to her memory, we should make the ending as true to life as possible. What about if the little Oceanid is hounded to death by people who hate her, her lover makes sure her secret never gets out, and humanity continues down the path to extinction?
That sounds like too cruel of an ending to me. And
That ending would be a perfect mirror to Director Aureli's death, both arbitrary and meaningless. On the day when she went missing, Director Aureli had instructed us all, somewhat out of the blue, to leave the court of Fontaine and wait for her outside the city. We waited and waited at the rendezvous point, but she never came. By the time we returned to the city, she disappeared without a trace. We looked for her. The Gardamex looked for her, but she was nowhere to be found. Increasingly, all the signs seemed to point to her being the latest victim in the serial disappearances case.
The director was the kindest soul in the world, yet she was senselessly sacrificed for the sake of a so-called experiment by someone who had nothing to do with her at all.
But doesn't the way she suddenly told you to leave the city suggest that maybe she had some sense of what was about to happen? It almost seems as if she was moving you to safety.
I've been trying to follow up on that ever since, but all my efforts so far have turned up nothing. Villemont might know something, but he won't open up to me.
Villemont? The one who's playing the role of the villain?
Yeah.
He's grief? Guilt, more like. Also, I have a hard time imagining that anyone took it harder than me. Because, well,
What? You.
it's time to be upfront with you all. No more keeping secrets from each other. I did tell her how I felt once. She said that we were all like brothers and sisters to her, and she never considered us as potential romantic partners. Not that it came as a I said, maybe one day in the future. Well, maybe then, and now. So if I'm the one writing this ending,
In that case, we've all had our differences of opinion.
Well, if that's where we're at, looks
Are you ready to face the truth?
honestly, I'm slightly terrified. Funny you should ask, though.
I certainly do. Come on, everyone.
खत्म बस ये वाली quest एंड happens.
This is tough going. Delphi, are you sure you can manage in your condition?
as if this journey wasn't tough.
Don't worry. We should all be fine with the traveler. Wait, why are you...
We're just.
Yeah, but don't you remember why? The Hydro Archon willingly gave up.
Precisely! As much as it pains me, unfortunately, I should just...
That sounded so smug. Ugh, secondhand embarrassment.
Hey, lay off, all right? I'm sorry.
Aww. Too.
Sorry to leave.
Don't worry,
Take flight! See? This isn't good! Whirling snow! Coming at ya! Time to go! Bravo! Good show! You certainly live up to your reputation.
Yeah, thank you. Anyway, the path is cleared now, so onwards and upwards.
Villemont, are you there?
Huh? Oh, it's you guys. Wait, what's Lady for?
I can explain.
So, you think knowing the truth about the direct... If I open this can of worms now, I just don't want to make things difficult between us. We're supposed to be a unit when we're on stage.
Villemont, avoiding the truth will not help anyone. Unless you mean to suggest that Aurelie's death had something to do with you.
I don't want to talk about it.
Listen, Villemont. I used to think that my love for Aurelie was a point of shame. I never brought it up to anyone. But now, I've made up my mind to put it all. I'm prepared to face everything, to sacrifice everything for the sake of the show. The little Oceanid cannot be complete.
This is why people think of you as not being the smart one. As you all know already, The troupe was kept afloat not from ticket sales, but donations from the audience. Of course, that was nowhere near enough. We took on side jobs when we weren't performing, but even then, So, anyway, one day it seemed like a win. The drink in question was...
Isn't that the drink peddled by the culprit behind the serial disappearances case?
I freaked out when I saw the boxes. And I told the director everything right away. She was completely shocked as well. But she didn't reprimand me for making the decision without the merchant was... I was going to sort it on my own, but things only got worse from there. I admit this whole thing was my mistake. I didn't dare to tell any of you the truth back then, and after the director disappeared, I was even more afraid to... Yeah, I got Aurelie killed. There.
Hey, don't say...
What do you mean? You were afraid? This was a life and death situation. We could have saved her! How could you be so stupid?
Please, try not to get too worked up.
Yeah, listen to him. You need to stay calm.
Stay calm? And he has the gall to try and high road us, claiming that he kept his mouth shut for the sake of the show!
All I can say is I'm sorry. Truly. I'm just a coward who made an awful, terrible mistake that I can never take back in my life.
Get out of my sight!
That's enough! Can you stop conflating the show on stage with your real-life relationship? You keep saying that you want...
I'm sorry.
On stage, the lead role is the focal point of the audience, but in her own... What she wants, I understand.
Yeah.
So think hard about what that means. And then think again about what you hope to achieve by arguing with each other. If you really hate each other and can't reconcile your differences, then you could just call it quits now. Why bother with the final performance if the group is already fractured? But you can't bring yourself to do that, can you? You care too much about Director Aurelie and the home she built you all to let go. What are you laughing at? I don't see what's so funny.
Sorry, I didn't mean it that way. It's just that, for a moment there, it felt like our director was back with us again. If she'd seen Paulo and Vilmont at each other's throats like that, she would have scolded them exactly like you did, in that same stern voice.
Really? But she sounded like such a gentle person.
Of course she was. Even her harshest lectures came from a place of kindness, and it showed. She really was a truly outstanding person.
What you said, it really puts everything into perspective.
I'm truly sorry. I really meant for this to be a genuine apology, but I ended up making it all about me and my self-pity.
It's all right. Let's save all this for after the performance.
So, the ending. What are we gonna do about it?
Clearly, everyone needs to take a step back for now and reflect on what really matters. When emotions are running high, things get lost in the fray. The end of the story needs to focus back on Aurelie herself. She's the true star of the show.
do you mean?
The Traveler is right. You once investigated that underwater synth base and recovered items belonging to the victims. If you could find anything that O'Reilly left behind,
You really think that's...
I trust that.
No.
Well,
Come.
You want to review some recovered items connected to victims of the serial disappearances case? But, that case has been closed for quite a while now. Still, since you were the ones who discovered and submitted the evidence in the first place, you don't actually have to submit an application. Okay, please hold on. I'll have someone dig them out.
So, this is all O'Reilly left behind. Just whatever she was carrying on her person and this tattered old notebook.
Hey! It's full of script lines! And sketches too! Looks like they show where the different props should be placed on stage.
Let me take a look. Maybe there's something in here from after she was kidnapped. Aha! I found something. To whoever discovers this diary. Let's see. Looks like she kept a detailed record of her captor's actions. She even mentions the truth behind the experiments on dissolving young women. If we'd had the chance to examine this notebook carefully back then, it would have been a conclusive piece of evidence proving Vacher's guilt.
Vacher took so many lives. It's still so unthinkable how many victims he had.
I guess O'Reilly must have written all of this down in the hope... wait, it cuts off. Her final words are... I'll let you read them.
She was so terrified.
She may have been a mighty hero in the eye. I can't bear to think how painful and lonely her final days must have been. Wait. This part on the last page sounds strangely familiar. If you become...
Isn't that the most important line in the...
Because I...
Oh.
So she didn't regret her decision. I'm sure that she had their utmost...
She deserves a hero's farewell. If that's the only...
Even in the last moments of her life.
She did her best to protect as many people as possible. We know what choice our little OC... Well, Vilmont?
I will channel all. I won't ask for.
Then it's...
Really? How can you be so sure when you...
Don't underestimate my experience. If you want to move and aren't, I don't believe anybody could be more committed to bringing...
Thank you for the vote of confidence, Miss Farina. And thank you for support.
Then, let's...
Actually, before that, during the curtain call...
Huh? But then...
After all, besides...
Well, if you're sure you're...
Now, alright. I'll leave...
Procure a stage?
Oh, it's...
that place?
Whoa, wait.
No.
What are you afraid of?
No.
It is supposed to be your grand finale,
I'll take your silence as a yes. Thank you for giving us this
Well, then don't disappoint me. If you mess this up, it'll... Come on. We'll need to get the go-ahead from Nerv... My apologies. Hey, look at that. Looks like I guessed right.
You were just...
I knew you'd be here.
I'm here merely for a short break. It has been a while, Miss Farina. And you too, traveler.
I would like to book the Opera Epicleus for an event.
I understand. The process for booking the Opera Epicleus is complex and can be somewhat cumbersome. But given that the request is coming from the three of you, I see no reason to make things unduly difficult. The story of the little Oceanid is most fascinating. I will say, however...
What do you...
Yes?
At first, in the past, maybe it's
I am truly now that you've regained some...
Why...
Well, if the little the experiences and decisions of the protagonist Cleo, it would truly be a...
Haven't I nor do I think it is... This experience,
I see. I sincerely...
Thanks, Nervalek.
You are very well...
Good news, everyone. It's done. The Opera Epicleus is booked. Thanks to my eloquent and impassioned speech, Monsieur Neuvillette was moved to provide us with a fitting stage for this special performance. We've had to fight every step of the way for this opportunity, but we now have all of the ingredients necessary to stage a truly spectacular performance. A touching story. Now, let's work.
The sooner we can finalize the... Vilmont and I just went over some parts of the script and tweaked a few things. I think it's really going to resonate with the audience now.
Wow, you...
Communication is vital to any good.
Look at us. We've come so far.
It's amazing. Even though Farina's still being a bit of a drama queen about it.
Please feel free to give us any comments or...
Hey, Loic, get over...
cursed Cleo. She stole the waters of life from us. She's a fraud, and she must pay for her crimes.
This is nothing.
This guy could...
Leave this place a little.
Everyone's really throwing themselves. If only.
What should we do? It's...
Hey, what's going on? Oh no.
They've...
What? I thought they cured.
I figured whatever it took.
How could you do this?
I'm sorry.
You.
Miss Farina.
Say no more. Loic, your character has no more scenes, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Please take Delphi.
Thank you.
Never mind. No one likes her. Leave it to me. I've watched you rehearse.
I do not... What in...
It's her pure heart, despite all.
Well said. I leave director...
Here yet?
To get here!
She's not coming!
You're wrong. She's here.
Si je pouvais vivre dans l'eau, le monde serait-il plus beau? Me pardonneras-tu, Genève? L'eau dans ton courant fait danser nos vies, et la cité est nourrie, ainsi que toi, mon doux amour.
But what about your wish?
My wish.
If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one. You will face suffering and loneliness. Is this truly what you want?
Le grand amour ne suffit pas, seule la nature fleurira. C'est notre histoire de vie, poussée à la mort. Je serai toujours là, à voir le monde et s'avancer. Et ça ne changera jamais, jamais.
Is it just me? Or was that... She hasn't been seen for... Gotta say, though, her acting skills are...
The little Oceanid, Cleo, played by Aurélie Fumont.
Wait, I don't know. Maybe it's just a doppelganger.
I've spent a lot of time out of the spotlight, and they didn't use... It's too bad. Still, it felt good.
Finally, we would like to give a special thanks to our artistic consultant and event coordinator, Miss Farina.
Hey, that's not what we agreed on.
Oh, so it was Farina after all.
She's back!
Honestly.
All right, calm down. Don't be mad. After all,
Yes,
It's no big deal.
Oh, yeah?
This is a great chat. Paimon flew over.
Oh. I've got no idea. I'll bet the audience.
wait, what about Dolphy?
Oh, let's go.
Yes. If nothing else. Phew.
Ah, you're back. She's doing okay. Her condition stabilized after taking some of her original.
How did the performance?
You'll be glad to.
That's one. I'm so sorry.
No, don't worry. Even though you.
Well, I've had bad luck.
Blaming your bad luck again.
Oh, don't you.
Aw, you.
I don't know what you.
You mean we never stop?
So, any plans? After the brilliant performance you put on, you could.
No.
Yeah.
After all that's happened, I should give you guys some space.
Hey, don't just walk off.
I still want to keep performing, so I might join another troupe after watching Miss Farina's performance.
Oh, so what about you, Miss Farina?
Well, you rather sealed my fate there with your special thanks at the.
Sorry.
It's quite all right. No need. Maybe. I still don't wish to pretend to be someone else. Yeah. But from now on, I want to watch them blossom. I'm sure that.
Sounds like you're right. The more you get out into the world, the more you'll just.
If a vision, then I should do.
When the sun's out, babe,